In Austin, I'm Quita Culpepper. State lawmakers filed a proposed map of new congressional districts. The proposed map includes significant changes to the DFW, Houston, and Austin areas. Now, under the proposal, the districts of Congressman Lloyd Doggett and Greg Casar would essentially be combined into one. State lawmakers took public testimony in person and virtually before the new maps were released. And earlier this month, the U.S. Department of Justice raised concern about the current map, saying 4 majority-minority districts were drawn based on race. The state has defended the current map in court, saying it was drawn fairly. Congressman Doggett told us he spoke with Congressman Casar after seeing the new map.
And we've spoken throughout this process, and I think we are united in doing all we can to prevent Trump from using redistricting as a way of really impeding the entire election process across the country this next year.
Congressman Casar shared his reaction to the maps.
We've got to stop Donald Trump from suppressing voting rights here in Central Texas, because Trump has said that once he's done here in the Austin area and in Texas, he wants to take this show on the road and start doing it in districts all across the country. So we've never faced something like this before.
As you can imagine, this fight is getting national attention. Governor Gavin Newsom of California posted on X saying, quote, "The 2026 election is being rigged. California won't sit back and watch this happen." The Texas Senate is moving forward with a new version of a ban on consumable hemp products containing THC. Governor Greg Abbott vetoed a similar bill last month. Daniel Perot explains what to expect next.
The Texas Senate advancing legislation to ban the sale of consumable hemp products with THC.
SB 5 is a necessary step in order to protect our kids.
It keeps CBD and CBG products legal.
Whole hemp seeds, hemp seed protein powder, hemp seed oil will remain legal.
It bans selling or marketing consumable hemp products to those under 21. It also adds new labeling and packaging requirements and creates new criminal penalties for manufacturing, distributing, or possessing the products.
This is one where the genie's not quite out of the bottle, where we might have an option of keeping it locked up.
The hemp industry is pushing for more regulation, but State Senator Charles Perry says that's not feasible.
There is no way to stay ahead of the chemist, and there's no way, from a dollar standpoint, to pay for that.
Opponents say the ban would close hundreds of businesses and hurt Texans who use these products.
And it is about protecting people's health, and it's about empowering people to make their own health care decisions.
State Senator Nathan Johnson says doing nothing is not an option.
A 10-year-old can walk into a gas station and buy a brain-damaging amount of THC, and that's not acceptable.
Johnson is pushing for a more regulation-based approach. He filed a bill similar to the House proposal from the regular session that, among other things, would put a 5 milligram THC cap on products.
These bills present legislators with an option that is safer because it is more enforceable, and we have a controlled system that is visible and reliable.
Johnson says he's had conversations with House lawmakers. The lower chamber's been more open to regulation instead of a ban.
As this process unfolds, we'll see if this thing gets some traction. I certainly hope it does.
And that was Daniel Perot reporting. The Pflugerville Police Department released a report detailing its administrative investigation into former Chief Jason O'Malley. According to that report, on April 23rd of this year, O'Malley walked into a Pflugerville police lieutenant's office, made a comment, then pointed his gun at the lieutenant's feet and legs and threatened to shoot him in the foot. The investigation also sheds light on a pattern of unprofessional conduct by O'Malley during his time as chief. It references a lax attitude toward weapons safety inside municipal buildings, inappropriate language and gestures at work, and a sense that employees were afraid to report O'Malley over fears of retaliation. There were no criminal charges filed in connection to these incidents. O'Malley retired on May 29th during the investigation. More than 36 people need a new place to stay after an apartment fire in Central East Austin. It started at around 2 in the morning on Wednesday in a complex on Springdale Road near Manor Road. Flames spread from burning cars to the apartment building. 8 apartments suffered damage and 37 people can't return home, including 11 children. The Red Cross is helping the displaced residents, and one firefighter suffered heat exhaustion but is expected to be okay. Hays County leaders announced the first human case of West Nile virus this year in that area. Officials are not saying what city the patient lives in. They did note county crews have not found a mosquito pool that's tested positive for the virus this season. As college students prepare to head back to the classroom, Austin Community College wants to make sure every campus offers students stable access to food with expanded food pantries. Here's Brianna Perez.
Empty shelves ready to be stocked with food and personal care items for the entire ACC community.
Spaghetti, canned beans, canned proteins, canned veggies.
As part of the new Riverbat Bites food pantry, a resource that was available at some campuses will now expand to all. In partnership with the Central Texas Food Bank, this allows all current students to access free food whenever they need it.
There is a high need and a high percentage of students who face food insecurity. And so since Highland was the only one who originally had it, maybe not all students have transportation to access the Highland location. So it is helpful to make it accessible to students in their area.
Vanessa Barrientos, food access manager at ACC, says every campus's pantry will vary in size depending on the need. She says for 2024, ACC student care centers saw about 46,000 visits.
Well, eliminating the food access barrier for students is extremely important. It's one less thing that students have to worry about.
It's such a huge help because then I can just go to the store and buy whatever I'm missing for the ingredients that I already have here.
Taylor Miller works at the pantry and says she sees several people utilizing the space. She says it helps save students money, time, and keeps them focused on their education.
I know for me that if I don't get enough sleep, I'm not drinking enough water, or especially if I don't eat enough food, I get super jittery. My anxiety goes up, and it does make it really hard to focus and concentrate.
ACC leaders plan for these pantries to be open to staff on August 18th and ready for students on the first day of classes on August 25th. Reporting in Austin, Brianna Perez, KVUE News.
And those are the headlines happening in Austin. I'm Quita Culpepper.